Everybody, welcome to the Spurs 9501 podcast live stream. I've got some very, very good guests with us today. I've got Cam, our resident expert and Spurs nut from Florida. I've got Nico from Tromsø, Norway. And I've got a new guest today, which is Eric from Houston. Eric, do you want to do a quick intro to everybody watching the stream? Give a quick intro about yourself.
From Houston, been a Spurs fan since 2012. Die hard. Can't switch up. Too late to switch up now. But no, I love Tottenham through and through. Like, my whole room is Tottenham. Everything I have is Tottenham. This is my band I have for my keys right here. And so everything I have is Tottenham. I love Tottenham, and that's all I think about every day, despite our poor form.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're all like that, and unfortunately, we all get disappointed. But let me come to you, Nico, before we start getting the people joining the live stream. What's been the latest news for you this week about Spurs? What's taken your notice about Spurs this week?
Well, to be honest, I thought about our next game against Newcastle in the Takeover.
Yeah,
and I was saying to myself, it's typical. Of course, we meet a team which now has a huge status, and optimism is rising. There's always something with Spurs. If it's not Spurs, some other thing with the other team we're meeting, that of course is not good for us. So that was my focus. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Cam? What's taken your notice? Was it the Newcastle Takeover as well?
Well, you asked me to be a bit controversial, so I will be. Just to say, of course, the main thing that hit me was the new chief exec of Newcastle said, watch out, Tottenham, Arsenal and Chelsea, where we are now going to be the biggest spending club in the world. And I suppose when you have somebody who is mass murderer behind you, who butchers journalists in embassies, and the reward they get is to take over a Premier team, maybe we should go out there and look for some serial killers with a load of money then, because it just seems that's the only criteria. We've got most of these teams probably run by mafiosos in the shape of Chelsea. You've got dictators running other teams all across the Middle East. And it shows to me that, the Premier League is turning into a group of most wanted as the owners of the Premier League club. So I think the only criteria now is have a lot of money, make sure you got a CV that includes the murder of lots of people, and, hey, come and buy a club.
Yeah, I think you make some really valid points. Eric, what's your thoughts about the Newcastle Takeover?
I will be saying what Cam's saying, but then again, I have to stop myself because if I say that,
Eric, we're losing you. I think we're going to have to. We can't. I think the Wi-Fi's cut out your end, Eric. So we've lost you. You're gone still. But wait till you fix that. But for my, hold on, you're back now. Yeah, I think your Wi-Fi is a bit dodgy. But carry on, Eric. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's weird because I have full signal right now. But
okay,
I'm right next to
go ahead. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
What I was saying was what Cam was saying. I will be saying what Cam was saying, but I mean, and yeah, which is true. But if they were buying us, then I wouldn't say not one single word. I wouldn't complain at all. But yeah, it seems that I think that's why the takeover went dead last year, because fans protested. These Saudi Arabian owners coming from places with human rights issues, trying to put their money in the Premier League. And I think that's what stopped it a couple years ago, last year. But it's happened through. I know Newcastle fans are happy that Mike Ashley is gone, and hopefully one day we get to experience that. Hopefully Jeff Bezos come over here. But I mean, it's worrisome. And of course, when they have the takeover, we play them next. So I wonder how that's going to do against the team. I know there's one thing though: Steve Bruce is going to be under pressure because they already calling for his neck right now. Because, now you got the money. Now you need a big-time manager, big-time players. And Steve Bruce is not going to cut it.
Yeah, they've mentioned Brendan Rodgers, etc., to do that. But the thing is, one thing that I've noticed, you guys, that they've only £305 million they've got. So that means they've got a lot more money to spend on players and other things. Nico, if somebody buys Tottenham for $3.5 billion, even though they've got a lot of money, it doesn't leave a lot of money to spend on anything else, does it?
I think they're loaded with cash, and to be a bit controversial, I don't care about their background. If I don't have to say Eric Dyer and Harry Winks, I don't give a shit, to be honest. Yeah. Just buy some good players. Very good.
Okay. So, Cam, sorry, go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is Tottenham is if Newcastle are worth 300 million, Spurs are not worth 3.5 billion.
We're not 10 times worth of Newcastle, surely.
Absolutely not. I mean, if Newcastle are worth 300 million, we're probably worth 450 million. Because Newcastle, like it or not, fan base wise, is a very big club. They sold out all their seats. They've got 50,000 seat stadium. Geordies are passionate about football. They're the one club in a big city in the north, but we're one club in a bigger city, but with a hell of a lot more teams to we're competing with. So yeah, I believe Spurs are a bigger club than Newcastle, but not 10 times bigger. Not even 2 times bigger, maybe 1.5 times bigger at a push. So I think Levy's got to get a grip and properly value the club. I mean, day by day, the way that Levy's managing this place, the value is actually probably going down by a good 10 million weekly. And with this takeover that's coming, I mean, I hear what you're saying, Nico. You want to win games. You don't care where the blood money comes from. But the fact is, right, that at the end of the day, the thing that pisses me right off is that financial fair play has gone right out the window. PSG can turn down 150 million euros and not give a crap whether he goes for free or not, even because financial fair play means nothing to them and the money doesn't mean anything to them. How is anyone supposed to compete with that? How is there supposed to be a level playing field that where all teams are going to get anywhere? All it means is that we will never now, guaranteed, ever win anything ever again because we just don't have that kind of money. However good a manager we get, whatever happens.
The sound is terrible.
You can hear me though?
No, it sounds like you're in auto-tune, Cam.
Oh, can everyone hear me otherwise?
I can hear him loud and clear. It must be your end, Nico. We can hear him loud and clear.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, yeah. But the thing is, you see, what do you think, Eric? Is Cam right that we're never going to get bought by anybody? We're never going to do anything. This is just the way it's going to be forever now. What do you think?
Well, I was going to start with Cam said about the whole valuation about Tottenham. I'm pretty sure Levy is going to say, okay, if you're buying Tottenham, you're buying the stadium. It's $1 billion stadium.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what Levy's going to do. But like I said, the structure of the way this club run, Levy keeps pushing this. We're a self-sustaining club. There's a reason why we have no outside money coming in besides sponsorships that the club earn, ticket sales, merchandise sales. But yeah, now that we have a new all money buyer in the league now, financial fair play has gone out the window. We saw it went out the window in 2020. I mean, if they're not guilty, going back to Manchester City, if they're not guilty, why did you fine them 15 million? And so, yeah, this is honestly worrisome because now we have another club to fear about of rising up due to outside investments outside of the club in Newcastle. And so, will we ever change? I don't know. I think the only like investment wise we will change is with new owners.
Now, Eric, let me come to you, and then I'm just going to go to Nico. But there's rumors of big fan demonstrations at the NFL match this Sunday. Have you heard anything about that? What's your thoughts about that? Because there's a lot of ENIC out people there saying we're going to go down and demonstrate so the US fans can see what the issue is here.
No, I've never heard of that. I've been watching the NFL Network over here a lot, and they've been promoting the game live at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is what I've been hearing every commercial, which sounds cool. But I haven't been hearing about that. But on the American, bring to the issue, especially because now you got American eyes. And you might have an American billionaire's eyes looking at this. So, yeah, if that's going to happen, I'm glad it's going to happen. Like I said, Jake Bezos, if you just want to come on over, come on over.
Well, I think, just to say, I mean, Liverpool, Manchester United, owned by Americans. I think Sunderland, Villa has got a large American ownership. They look like paupers now compared to these guys because their financial model is so different. They like to take big loans. They like the clubs to take out big loans. These guys just pouring, and there's like a big funnel of dirty cash just being poured into.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. This is a way of cleaning some dirty cash they've got, isn't it? Really.
Absolutely. I mean, look at
money laundering.
yeah. Well, look at Chelsea. Abramovich.
That's what Abramovich did, isn't it? Yeah.
£1 billion interest-free loan stuck into Chelsea that they haven't paid a penny back off. And it just gets bigger and bigger. Buy who you want, do what you want, park your money there. One day he'll get it back.
Yeah. Let's move on now from. I mean, what implications does it have for us, Nico? Is it? I mean, how quickly do you think these Saudis are going to start spending money? Are they going to start buying big players? I know this is a Spurs live stream, but it's quite important what's happening at Newcastle, really, for us.
Yeah, I think they're going to invest hugely. It's just a matter of maybe it's a bit the same as Manchester City. Also the infrastructure, but the first window is in January. So they might try then to get some 1 or 2 marquee signings and then get the Conte or Zidane maybe just to have a poster or like a glam manager, the first one. Steve Bruce is finished. No doubt about it. He's finished.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
They didn't win a match so far either. He knows he's finished. So it's just.
But that's all going to change when they play us next week, Nico. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
We're the team that breaks everybody's streaks.
Absolutely.
So as soon as they play us, they're going to win.
Of course. It's going to be very tough. It's. I think it's so typical Tottenham to have this kind of circumstances which we cannot control, and then the team gets some kind of motivation or. Yeah, it's just typical Spurs. We have to focus on ourselves and
totally
the
agree.
progress of the team. So,
Eric, do you think the international break came at a good time for us, or just so we can, just take stock of what's happening, or after the Villa win, would it have been good to play against Australia? What do you think?
Well, now with the whole COVID laws, international break's always going to happen at a bad time for us because now we're dealing with the same issues we dealt last month with Lo Celso, Romero, and excuse me, I can't remember. Oh, Davison Sanchez. And so it is always just going to be dreading to go through and sit through. But I do have F1 this weekend. But going back to Spurs, the Villa game, we dominated possession. And believe it or not, it was like around the 30th minute where I saw the stat line. We had 70% possession and 30%. We had 70% possession of the ball. I'm like, really? Because it just really didn't feel like it. I feel like Aston Villa was pressing us high, and we were struggling to deal with it early on. But I think it came at a bad time because Aston Villa was something to build on because there were some positives, especially looking at Romero. Romero played good, but he was the mistake in the Ollie Watkins goal. So I think it did come bad for us because we needed something to build on, and now we got to wait, and our players got to go to their internationals. Hopefully they don't get hurt like last time. And so, yeah, it's always going to be a bad time.
Yep. Cam, what's your thoughts on just generally Tottenham, with a good win? I think you were happy with the win, but what about the performance?
Well, I mean, performance, like Steve said the last time we were talking about it, was a mid-table performance against a mid-table team. There was nothing there apart from, I would say, a better. Nice to see Romero and Royale play and play well. I really felt it was a mid-table clash between two mid-table teams. The sadness really for me is where do we go from here? Because other teams seem to be getting stronger. Other teams seem to be investing and looking in a very particular direction. And I think, Tottenham just seem to be in the wilderness right now. I don't see any direction. I mean, we're all even if you take some of the teams with no money, and I know your favorite one to come up with on this, Ray, is Brighton. And I know I take it back. I was not really keen on Potter, but at least if you're a Brighton fan, you can see where you're going. You can see some direction. You can see some style of play. You can see the players' performances changing. What have you noticed in the last 10 or 11 games from Nuno? Have you seen the players looking better? Any player that looks a bit better? Maybe Dyer did in a few games. Sanchez maybe a bit. Anybody else? No. I mean, Dele was supposed to be this brand new player that's come back. That's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, as Nuno's injected something into him. But whatever is injected.
Every season, Dele's a new player.
Yeah, it's got to get back. Whatever is injected to him is actually now that injection's gone. So I don't see any direction. And that's what worries me more than anything else.
Nico, should we? I mean, should we continue with Nuno, or what? What do you think should happen with this guy? I mean, he may win a couple of games, then he might revert to type, start losing. This could be just like a yo-yo type of season. What do you think we should do?
Yeah, we need to see another performance where the players are actually giving 100%, like against Villa. Has to be now every match. We have to see the dedication. Don't have to necessarily win the games. I don't think we will. But we have to see the dedication every match now because the last 3 before the Villa match was just terrible, and now they have to show they're playing for the manager and the club. So that's a given for me. I don't want to see any more of the Arsenal match bullshit. That was just so terrible. So they need. I don't care if it's a break, international break, whatever. No excuses. They have to put in the work on the pitch every single match. That's for me. If we have now a poor match against Newcastle, where you see Højbjerg not tracking back or players not being angry when they make stupid mistakes, for me, I'm going to blow up for sure.
It looks like you already are.
Yeah, it looks like you've gone red. But
Hey,
Eric,
Ray,
you could. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
You asked the first question. What was the big news throughout the week? And we ended up talking about Newcastle. But the answer to my question was, and Nico reminded me. To me, the biggest news throughout this week is what Paratici came out and said. You know, it was, urging us fans to look at the bigger picture. And one thing that struck me, and when you asked about Nuno, he said the mentality is first, playing style comes second. Is that what we really want to hear? Because, like I said, we've been talking about this Tottenham DNA. We just hired 2 back-to-back managers that don't fit this so-called Tottenham DNA that Daniel Levy has spoken about. And to hear Paratici come out and say that, it's kind of like we're hearing 2 different ideologies, one from Levy, which we haven't heard in a minute, and then we got Paratici. And so I'm really confused on where the direction is heading. And I find it strange that when fans are questioning the team, it's Paratici to come out this time, director of football.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the match Arsenal against Brighton. Graham Potter. Arsenal was so lucky to get away with a 0-0. Brighton had so many chances. If that was Tottenham playing, I'm sure Kane or Son would have put them across. So we are going to be lacking some sort of expertise in our managerial side. The question for me is, how long is Paratici and Levy going to back this guy for? I mean, what's going to happen before they say enough is enough? Cam?
Well, I think that one of the things that the Newcastle take, I know we've been going on about this a lot.
No, carry on. The Newcastle is really relevant, so please carry on.
As we can go, as happened, it should ground a lot of Spurs fans. One of the things that always struck me, guys, over the last few seasons, like many seasons, whenever Newcastle had a half-decent player, Spurs would probably go in for them and take them off Newcastle just to prove we were a better club than them. It goes back from division.
Gascoigne was the most famous guy we bought from Newcastle.
There you go. Ginola, Genis, recently moved to Sissoko. So obviously it's been going down, the talent we've been taking. But I've got this feeling is the mentioning by Newcastle, specifically of Spurs, is, hey, you know what? Any player you think you want, we'll go in for before you can even get them. And their choice will be, do you want to go to Spurs or do you want to come to the richest club in the world? They ain't going to be coming to us. So now we're going to find ourselves in a position when it comes to a manager that we're lucky to have the likes of Nuno, because Newcastle will be looking for a new manager. They'll be looking for other clubs that will be in that position will be looking for a manager. Who's going to go to Spurs? Who is going to go to Spurs? And I can assure you now, I bet Graham Potter's very high up on the Newcastle shortlist. If all the managers that refuse to come to Tottenham are, I bet you the number 1 will be Conte. You mentioned Zidane. I'm not sure Zidane's ready to step into a different league, especially the Premier League. But Potter, Conte, they're going to be up there. And Spurs, again, are going to look like a laughing stock, a joke. All those young fans out there that we should be bringing in, all the new fans like the Erics of the world that we should be bringing in, are in a few years' time all going to be Newcastle fans and not Tottenham fans, because, I mean, Tottenham will be a mediocre club.
But it goes back
with a mediocre manager. Sorry.
It goes back to what Eric said. We don't have what's the direction? we can think about what other clubs are doing, blah blah blah, but it goes back to it's no direction from top to bottom, and you don't see a thread, from up to bottom. So I watched the Paratici interview. I watched it 3 minutes, and I didn't buy into it because it's not from top to bottom. You don't see the appointment of Nuno. You don't see that it's attacking DNA, which Levy said he's not an attacking manager. So, and then Paratici goes with mentality. We don't have the structure, and then it's not hopeless, but it's hard to get by it as a fan, to get really excited, because the people at the top aren't the right people. So
and and I wish I could ask Levy or this Paratici this question: are we still trying to win, or we're trying to rebuild? Because we're clearly not trying to win, and if we are trying to rebuild, why don't we have a manager to rebuild this team that fit our DNA?
Yeah,
and selling Kane would have been pivotal for us to rebuild. We would have gotten the money. We wouldn't have been complaining about money, in this whole takeover. Selling Harry Kane at the right price would have given us 170 million pounds, 75 million pounds. And so I said at the beginning of the season, we're in a rebuilding stage. I don't know why they're trying to win. We have this big stadium, right? We can't just be sitting as the lame duck while other teams are getting bigger. Wow, we got to pay the stadium off. We need fans to be at the ground. We need fans to support the team. And we as fans don't see any structure to see where's the direction of this team going and where are we going to be in 2 to 3 to 5 years. I feel like Nuno was a step back from Mourinho, of course. I mean, Mourinho was good, but Nuno is just not the guy.
Well, can I say something
entertaining, positive?
Yeah, you made a good point, Eric, and I want to just add to that, and I want to be the first one to say it. Kane to Newcastle in the January transfer window. As a marquee signing, there you go.
Well, if they pay 100,
they're going to pay more.
150. If they're prepared to pay 150, why wouldn't he not go there?
Kane to Newcastle. You heard it here first.
Well, let's go on to Harry Kane. I mean, it's about time we just got rid of him now. I mean, what do you think he's been doing, Cam? And then I'll go to just other guys. Just feel free to chime in. But Cam, how do you feel he's been doing? He hasn't scored at all now.
Well,
in the league at all.
I think he's gone home and he's taken off his Manchester City pajamas that he probably gets into every night and bought himself a pair of Newcastle pajamas. Because I seriously think that, firstly, I think he's going to go. He's going to go. I think that City were probably sitting back thinking, you know what, his value is going down by about 5 million, 10 million every week because he's not scoring. We'll probably get him on the cheap. But I think Newcastle coming in is going to be competition. I mean, they have got to make one big signing in January, right? They've got to make one big signing. They're probably going to make about
statement of intent.
If I'm Newcastle, and I'm the new owners of Newcastle, and I just took over the team. I want to build something. I need foundation. Harry Kane is 28. I wouldn't buy Harry Kane.
But Eric, you're wrong there, because this is what Manchester City did. They bought in Robinho as a last-minute signing just as they came in. They didn't do very much, but it was a marquee signing. There is no bigger marquee signing in the Premier League than Harry Kane. That is
Harry Kane wouldn't go to Newcastle.
Or a statement of intent.
On 500,000 a week, he will go to Newcastle.
$1 million a week.
He wouldn't. Harry Kane,
$1 million a week.
Every time Harry Kane talks to me, he's talking about trophies. Newcastle.
They'll give them 2 seasons, and they will be, because they'll buy it. They're talking about the issue here is his financial fair play. It don't exist anymore. It
doesn't exist anymore. There's no such thing as financial fair play.
Yeah. So, I mean, the question is, I think that's the only silver lining for us. Let's hope they will come in for Harry Kane, give us loads of money, 175 million. We should put up the price too, and then we can do a rebuild. The question is, I want to ask you guys the question. Just hear me out and say we did get 200 million for Harry Kane. Let's say we got 200 million pounds for Harry Kane. Would you trust Nuno with that 200 million?
No.
I was just about to say no. I wouldn't trust him with £200, let alone 200 million. So I wouldn't touch Paratici with that money either. So
There you go. That's
we're
the
in a
problem,
lose,
isn't it?
and we're in a lose-lose, guys, aren't we? We get a lot of money for Kane, but we're spelling in the wrong direction. You know, I mean, I don't know. We haven't even got anybody who knows how to spend the money. Paratici was this. They call him the Dom. What's he done? Who's he bought in?
Romero. You bought in
Romero. Okay, Romero. I'll give him that. He
I mean,
bought
to be
Romero
fair
in.
about him, and that's what he said in the interview. You know, Paratici, you know, he said, "You will never see me at a 6-month stint, 1 year stint, 2 year stint. You'll see me long term," because he was at Juventus for 11 years, and so I think
He won't last 11 years with the
Best
Daniel
player.
Levy in charge. I'm telling you,
I
yeah.
think he's gonna last more than. Look, Levy wanted Paratici for so long. I don't think he's gonna get rid of him now.
He wanted Mourinho.
I feel like the first, yeah, true. I was about to say that, but I think the first one he's going to get rid of as a scapegoat is going to be the manager, of course. And if the problems still show up, then it's Paratici. But
Yeah, exactly.
I-
He's the fall
yeah.
guy. He's a fall guy.
Apparently, there was something on the internet about they could fire him after 6 months and only pay him a year, or something like he's only got 6 months severance
because
or
his
something like
wage
that.
is not that high.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, the thing that gets me about the whole situation is that you hire a manager on the basis that as a fall guy rather than as a manager to build a team. That's what it seems, doesn't it? It seems like it was actually hired as a fall guy because we know we're going to be crap. Let's get somebody in that who can take the blame for us for the next 6 months. Yeah, we never hired a manager for anything else.
You won't have.
Can we
Nico,
hear?
what's your thoughts on that?
I didn't catch that. He the sound was gone. What did he say?
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
Eric, you keep breaking up, Eric. There's definitely something wrong with your Wi-Fi, but let's carry on while we can with you anyway.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, guys.
Eric?
I mean,
it was me. Oh no, what I
Yeah.
was saying is that if we're gonna get the $200 million of Kane, we can at least be confident in the guy in charge to lead us in this rebuilding stage. Yeah. Nuno has. He went to Wolves and brought them up, even got them to Europa League finish. But Nuno is not Tottenham. You know,
No.
Graham Potter is Tottenham. Even though I was against Potter coming in this summer, we
Cam
were all,
nearly threatened to kill me if I got Graham because I was saying Graham Potter. He threatened to put a contract out on me because I was saying let's get Graham Potter in.
we were all against Graham Potter in the summer. I don't know why everyone's saying.
thank you.
I don't know why.
We thought we were
everyone's
so
saying,
much better.
We need
That's
Potter.
why.
We need Potter, and we need Potter, and we were all against him back in May. So
But listen, guys, the other sort of elephant in the room is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now he's not doing too well at Man United, you know. So if United pull the trigger there, then you could see Potter going to Man United.
No, I was actually I was talking to a Man United fan the other day. I'm like, yeah, you got all these players. Man United can have the best players, all the best players in the world in every single position. But Ole as your coach, you will never go nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I think Antonio Conte would take the Man United job. If I was Man United, I would go for Conte because with a team that's established in each position, Varane being a Champions League winner, Ronaldo, Pogba, he's not Champions League winner, but just being established, he's a World Cup winner. He's a World Cup winner.
He's a
all
winner.
these winners on your team,
Yeah.
and have a coach that's not a winner, you put a winner in.
Yeah.
in Conte.
Nico, you're from Norway, and obviously Ole is from Norway. What's the feeling in Norway about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the job he's doing in Man United? What are you hearing there?
Yeah, the media they like him, of course, they support him, but I've never seen him as a top manager. To be honest, I think he was extremely lucky to get the job. I was actually shocked when he got the job,
Only because he played.
Exactly, but I don't think I agree with Eric completely. He's not a winner. He's far too nice. You can say it's good to be diplomatic, but he's not strong enough. That's the point.
He's won the Norwegian league, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Look, when Mourinho was sacked, everyone saw Ole as just an interim manager, just kind of like Ryan Giggs after David Moyes.
Yeah.
But I guess they saw some success in him where they just kept him going and decided to back him. When they backed the wrong manager. Should have been Mourinho. But I never thought Ole would be here this long. I thought after Mourinho, his 6 months, finished the season, he was gone. But yeah, I'm surprised he's still here right now.
Cam, do you think there's a? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nico. Go on. Sorry, Nico.
Yeah, I was just his strong points is his man management skills. He's very supportive of the players, but he's not tactically brilliant by far. You don't see the identity, the pattern of play in United. You should see it now. After 4 seasons, there should be very, very clear the identity of the team. You don't see it, so that proves it for me. And he doesn't seem strong enough. You can't picture him in the dressing room, shouting to Ronaldo. I can't picture it. And so he's very
listen to this clip. This clip. Listen to this audio clip.
Is he the right man? When you bring in somebody like Cristiano Ronaldo, Ronaldo's not bigger than Man United, but he is bigger than Solskjaer. Whether people like that or not, he is bigger than Solskjaer. So just signing Cristiano Ronaldo, it can't be a negative because of the goals he gets, right? It can't be a negative because the fans absolutely love it. And I can tell you from being on a tram last week after that Villarreal game, which was packed with United fans, all singing Ronaldo's name with Ronaldo 7 shirts on their backs. They love the fact they have re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo. So the fans are loving it. Whatever's happening, the fans are loving it. But in terms of winning stuff, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the right man to manage this club at this time?
Well,
I don't think he is, Cam, is he? I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got the charisma and the know-how. I mean, going back to what Nico said, he's never actually won anything in any major leagues.
No, I think it's about mental strength. He's been in a number of finals. He's lost them. The last Europa League, FA Cup. They were pretty close. And I think that the thing is, though, for us, that's the best manager for Man United. So I'm very much happy to support Ole, and I hope he does really well and stays there for the next 20 years. A big question for me is, if these clubs start firing their managers and we're stuck with Nuno, anybody who's half decent that's out there is not going to be looking at Tottenham. So long live Ole, long live Steve Bruce. Let's hope they keep their jobs and contracts for life. Because for us, the biggest issue is that all good managers going elsewhere. What's going to happen to us? We're going to get stuck with Nuno for life. I got an idea. Who would you exchange Ole for Nuno? They can have Nuno. We'll take Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What do you say to that?
Yeah, what do you say to that, Eric? Yeah.
Even I wouldn't do that. No.
Keep Nuno?
Keep Nuno. And what you said, you Cam, you were talking about the attractiveness. I was saying this in one of those Twitter spaces like a long time ago when after we sacked Mourinho. I'm like, see, Levy's going to always say, we got a stadium. Billion-pound stadium. What was not attractive about Tottenham? Well, from a manager standpoint, what is attractive about Tottenham? If you take Kane and Son out of this team, you have a mid to relegation team. No manager wants to join this fire that's going on right now. No manager ever. So the question is, how do we make this club attractive for a manager? It might be attractive for sponsors because you got the whole nice venue and all that stuff. But for a manager, to make this team attractive is structure and having players that can bring, okay, I can come in and work with these players. No one's going to come in and work with Winks. He's done.
Nico, let me ask you, I mean, what is the way forward? I'll come to you in a minute, Cam, but just to move the conversation across. Nico, what is the actual answer? Because I'm struggling here. Yeah. Levy's put $3.5 billion on the nobody's going to pay $3.5 billion. We got a manager that unfortunately is not really the caliber manager we want. We've got players like Winks, Dyer, Sanchez, which really not up to speed. Are we just bumbling along and nothing's going to happen? I mean, I can't see any light at the tunnel. I'm sorry for being so disheartening, but somebody tell me where the light at the end of the tunnel is. Nico?
As I said, it's about keeping the dressing room. It's about building momentum and relations and getting identity on the pitch. It's no easy way out of it. We're not going to sign amazing players. We know that. I think we have way too many players that's not good enough in the team right now. So it's just about, I think he has to be very stubborn and try to implement a system so we get some kind of identity in the team. And of course, the motivational part. I hope it's better than the press conferences. which are extremely boring, by the way.
Yeah, they are extremely boring.
Yeah.
Very boring. So let's just talk generally about the Premier League. Eric, from what you've seen, who has been your favourites now? Do you think is going to win the Premier League? I mean, we saw the good match 2-2 against City and Liverpool, and I'll come to you, Cam. But who do you think's currently looking as a favourite to win the title?
I've been telling my friend, like, I've been watching this team more than I should be watching this team, only because my favorite players is on the team. But man, I love watching them, and that's Chelsea.
Yeah.
On the two.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Who's your favourite player, Eric? Who's your favourite player?
Is
it Pulisic, is it?
No, it's Lukaku.
Oh, Lukaku, yeah.
And I was mad that he went back to Chelsea, but then again, he always wanted to prove himself at Chelsea.
Yeah.
So I've been watching him. Every time he scores, I'll post it on my story, like, hey, y'all, look at Lukaku, you know, for Chelsea. It's a really exciting team to watch, and especially I got so jealous during the Spurs-Chelsea game. I'm like, the way Tuchel, whatever, I never understood really how to pronounce his name. The way he adjusted his team at halftime. We had them on the ropes, but couldn't get. We had them on the ropes in the middle of the park. We were creating chances, just didn't get that goal in the first half. The way Tuchel went at halftime and changed his team, put a 3-man midfield with Conte in. That's what managers are paid. That's how managers.
Yeah. What about you, Nico? Do you think the top? I mean, United are struggling, but I think Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, they're sort of nailed on for the some of the top 3 places, aren't they?
Yeah, I think no surprises really. It's Chelsea, can be Liverpool, can be City. I don't think there's anything to shake up the favorites. So nothing special there. And when he mentioned the squad there, Eric, you know, they put on Conte and we have Winks, you know. I don't have to say anymore. You know, it doesn't matter if Nuno or God, you know, you have to work what you have.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the quality in the team. So it's really that simple. And I don't care. I'm going to single out players.
Go ahead. Go on, Nico. Single out. Which is your...
We have Ben
Davies. Your dirty dozen. Your dirty dozen.
Yeah, but it's like when you have Ben Davies in the squad, you don't have any ambition. Simple as that. He's not a good enough player.
But he's a good backup, though, is he? Not even good as a backup?
Yeah, exactly. But what does he offer? And then Eric Dyer, you know, I know he's gonna disappoint again. We all know that, you know. And then, so it's hard for a manager. You can say you want to coach them, but for me, like Eric Dyer doesn't have the mentality. I don't see the guts. You see a player like Rüdiger or Cellini, Italy. These players, I see them. I see fire. I see these people. They're born winners. And then you see Eric Dyer has this plant-based video, like he is in the garden at the stadium, and he likes to read books. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't care. I don't want these kind of actors. I want winners that die for the badge. Yeah. Is it too much to ask?
Yeah, no, I understand. Cam, is it? Do you think we could sneak into the top 4, Cam? I mean, if Man United are struggling and all that, do you think we can sneak in there? I'm being optimistic, wildly optimistic here.
I think I'm going to have to disagree with you guys here, because I think we're always picking on the usual suspects. We're picking on Winks, we're picking on Dyer, we're picking on everybody else. My biggest problem has been the signings of the last couple of years. So we bring in Lo Celso, who's supposed to be one of the best players around, right? Had all this potential and everything else. And it's just been a damp squib. Absolutely. I see nothing that warrants the 30 million. We bring in Ndombele, 60 million, supposed to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, going to do this, do that, everything else. Total waste of space. All the other players that we've signed, I mean, again, I'm going to go on about Bergwijn. What was he supposed to bring in? One of the best players, do this, do that. He can't, he could, as they say, could not hit a goal now if his life depended on it. I can't even remember last time he scored. Empty net, open net, any kind of net, he's not going to hit it. If it's as big as my house, he might get it in. But apart from that, that guy cannot score to save his life. 3 players to spend over 100 plus million on. We've got this habit of bringing in new players on loan and then finding ourselves next season, you think, hey, we've got a load of money to spend. No, we haven't, because now we've got to pay the loan that we bought in. So Romero's on loan We haven't paid a penny for him yet. So that's going to be like a new signing next season if we take that up. We did that with Lo Celso, and this is a thing which is a big problem for us. So yeah, we can pick on Winks, we can pick on Paul Ben Davis. But what about these guys that were supposed to come in with great expectations and turned up at Tottenham and have been journeymen at best? That's what they've been. They've been journeymen at best. They've done nothing to warrant the money that they came in. They've done nothing to warrant that reputation. Strangely, they can play pretty well in their national teams. They can go wherever they need to go and do okay or whatever, even though normally wouldn't get into the French fifth team, let alone the first team. Here we go, dumping it on Winks and Davis. I don't get it. It's not right. Those are the guys that never stepped up to the plate. They're the ones with the big salaries, and they're the ones we should be targeting for putting on that shirt and disappointing us and being a disgrace to Tottenham.
Hi, Terry. Thanks for your question. What do you think, Nico? Is Terry right? Our biggest problem has been poor recruitment. Hopefully, Paratici will fix this problem.
Absolutely.
Just what I've been saying.
Yep.
Absolutely. It's been a extremely disappointing thing with the recruitment. I think buying the wrong players and not selling the players we needed to sell. We're just amateurish in this department, I think. So, but then the question is, hopefully Paratici will fix the problem. Well, he has to work under the constraint of Daniel Levy. That's the problem. He never relinquished any control. Let's be honest. He doesn't say like, do whatever you want, you get this sum of money. He has total control, and he's controlled by Joe Lewis. So,
yep.
That's the point.
But Eric, who, in your opinion, has been the worst signing we've made in the last few years?
In the last few years?
Last 2 years, who's the worst signing we've made? Yeah.
Well, we're going last 2 years. I'm going to say Doherty. If we're going the last 2 years.
Okay, Matt Doherty. What about you, Nico? Who's the worst signing we've made in the last couple of years?
I would also add Steven Bergwijn.
Steven Bergwijn.
How many times do I have to see the Manchester City goal on a replay?
I love it. Yeah, that's gonna be. He's gonna dine out on that for the rest of his life.
Yeah, it's so frustrating because I think he seems like a very good guy, to be honest, and he works hard, but he's broken when it comes to the final third. He can't score to save his life.
I think Terry agrees with you there, Eric. But you're saying Steven Bergwijn, aren't you, Nico? What about you, Cam? Who's the worst signing we've made?
Because I mean, it's not. There's without a doubt, skill-wise, player-wise, Doherty is the worst player we've signed in many a year. No doubt about it. But we've got to put it in a percentage or a ratio, however you want to put it, pound for pound, wage for wage. How much we pay out, how much we paid for a player. And there's nobody that costs us the kind of money that Ndombele does. We paid 60 million for him, 250,000 a week, which likes of Doherty can only dream of. And pay pound for pound, he's our worst signing, because you've got to say what you buy a player for 5 million, pay him 10,000 a week, and say he's your worst player. Well, I mean, okay, that doesn't mean anything. Of course, what are you going to get for 5 million? But you buy the player which you paid the most money for, and he's no better than a £5 million player. Then who's the worst player?
Well, how long has Ndombele been with us? He's been there for 2 years, hasn't he, guys?
Season
19.
Yes, so let's say you're paying £1 million a month. That's 24 million, and then we paid 60 million. So we've got 85 million, Eric. We've actually forked out for Ndombele. Have we got our money's worth?
No. Actually, a big signing that's disappointing me, even though he doesn't play as much, is Sessegnon.
Another
one.
That's a good one. Yeah,
and we haven't seen him here. We haven't seen what he's done in the Spurs shirt.
Too busy being injured.
Yeah.
I think Terry is one of the most costly mistakes. I think not the potential. I think he actually is one of the costliest mistakes. That's a good point, Terry. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
Well, yeah, I was actually going to go with Terry said, we always thought Ndombele would be the Moussa Dembele replacement. And I just been thinking, I've been looking at footage. I think Kessie could be the.
He can't even clean Moussa Dembele's boots. I'm telling you, he can't even clean Mandela's boots.
He's so skittle on the ball. He Ndombele is going to go down as one of those players that's so talented, but just not. The mentality just isn't there. His attitude kind of reminds me of Ben Afra or Abel Tarabat. Those skilled players that the streets will never forget. But
Yeah.
But Nico, is it a point, guys, and just discuss this, is it a point that we take good players and we turn them into absolute crap?
Yeah.
I mean, look at Sessegnon. He played like out of his skin at Fulham. He comes to Tottenham. We never hear of him again. And
Yeah,
Ndombele,
and-
whatever Cam says that he was good. Sorry, Nico. Whatever Cam says he was good and now he's rubbish. Doherty had scored 7 Premier League goals in the season before he came to Tottenham, and he was one of the leading right backs in the Premier League. What do we do to these players to turn them round?
No, but I would also say the mentality part. Don't the scouts have some kind of markers to look at the Ndombele with the poor work rate attitude? We knew this. I said this before in another podcast. Sessegnon the same for me. Every time I see him, this very shy guy, very like I don't know. I don't see the mental, we need somebody with some passion and some really determined character.
But we lost that guy. That's Eric Lamela, wasn't it?
Well, I want to answer that question before you move on, Ray, because it's very important. Because I disagree. I think that we have a recruitment policy which is totally based on a knee-jerk, which is that anyone who has one good season come to Tottenham. We never look at how they were before. Doherty had one good season. Ndombele had one good season. Lo Celso had one good season. Bergwijn had one good season. All we do is just, quick, get them in, because we feel like we're in a situation. There's no proper research done as to where they came from, how good they were before. I mean, everyone can have a really good game, or a few good games and a few good seasons. But what are their skill levels, and what are they really like? And it hasn't just started here. We can go back years. To the Russian striker, Pavlyuchenko, when we brought him in. What about our Spanish friend, the striker? Soldado, or the Dutch striker. What about
Vincent
the Dutch
Janssen? I mean, Cam's right.
There's so many of them that I can't remember the list. They had one or two good games, get into Tottenham, get a good wage, and who gives a crap afterwards? And that is our recruitment policy.
Even though we signed a few players that were mistakes from him, our recruitment hasn't been the same since Paul McDermott left. And we used to sign players around 22, 23, and that's why the squad age has gotten so high, because we're trying to sign established players now. I mean, we did sign Hill, Romero, very young.
So far. Until he decides not to play anymore.
They're young. We're used to buying young players and used to developing them, selling them off, but we're now trying to be a big club. And I mean, we signed the Nkudus, never worked out. The Clinton Ngs, y'all still?
Yeah, you got another one. Yeah.
We used to sign those players, and
Soldado and Janssen are my favorite up front, both of them together. How would he look now?
And
but Cam, you say that, but Janssen was the top scorer in Eredivisie before he joined us.
Absolutely, probably for one season, and that's why we wanted him.
But
sorry, go on, Eric.
Oh no, talking about a manager has to work with the players he's got. The squad age right now, average is it's gotten lower from 28 to 26 now. And most of these players are in their mid 20s, which are their prime years, and they're still not performing. What can you develop that? And I feel like we still need more seasons under Paratici, hopefully, to lower the squad age and have a good coach in to develop these players. I don't see Nuno being a developing coach.
Well, some of the good signings we've had, like Nico, has been for example, Emerson Royal. I've been impressed with him. He played well in the last game. I thought Brian Hill is going to do well. Romero, once he gets his feet under the table, is going to do well. So we have made some really good signings there, haven't we, Nico?
Yeah, definitely. I thought Romero was good last match. He was very resolute. I saw a good player there. So, and Hill, whatever.
Hill.
Yeah, I think so. We have some good players, but the point is, if the direction isn't there, we're going to make them worse.
Yeah, that's the way.
And also, a lot of the players in the squad now, they are scarred by former disappointment, and it's about habits, right? Football is about habits. Winning is a habit, and losing is a habit, and mistakes is a habit. So the coaching part has to be very difficult, and it takes time.
We have one good habit, which is making players worse.
Yeah,
one habit that Tottenham haven't taken.
absolutely.
Even George, Kevin, and Kudu left and won a title in Turkey. He's won the title with somebody. I'm sure he has. Christian Eriksen won the title with Inter. Trippier won the title with Atletico. There is something wrong with this club. I want somebody to tell me what's wrong with it. Eric, tell me what's wrong with this club. Why can we not win anything?
The owner, period.
It's the owner, is it, Nico? That's the only thing it is. If we get rid of the owner, then the trophies will come, do you think?
No.
If we get the right owner.
If we get the right owner, yeah.
I think what now is going to have to happen, right? The marketplace in the way that it is, you're going to have a like I said, a stellar international criminal come in with so much money, so many billions that they can just buy. The only way anyone ever going to win anything now is by buying it. Just buy. It's now approached. All trophies are just up for sale.
That's not true because Leicester didn't buy it and they won the title. Leicester won the FA Cup.
They still had more money than us.
Yeah, but Leicester owner's not a dirty guy. He's got clean money. He's a proper businessman. He's earned his money.
Leicester's owners.
I counter that, Cam. There is ways to succeed without being dirty money. Sorry, Eric.
Leicester owners are ambitious, unlike ours. They work what they got, and they pay what they need to pay.
But they spend money, don't they?
Under the financial fair play rules to win. They Leicester City owners are perfect owners, and you thought it was going to change after the owner, sadly passed, but no, the son came up in his footsteps and continued what his dad started. And so, yeah, Leicester owners are perfect. And they show that you can develop a squad, develop a club, a culture without all the need for big financial backing.
Good.
That was a while ago. It won't happen again, I don't think, as a one-off maybe, but not now.
Well, they won the FA Cup last season, then they won the league. They've won more in 5 years than we've won in 13 years. Yeah.
Big trophies.
Yeah.
So, any other thoughts on the Premier League itself? What's excited you? Go ahead, Eric. Yeah, anything exciting for you? That's a good point on Terry. I think you're 100% right. I think this club is actually cursed. I really do think so. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
I do have a question on Nico. A question for everyone because Nico reminded me. Romero, do you guys think he commits too much?
Yeah, I said in the beginning of the season, I was just Googling and seeing some clips on YouTube, and he's very aggressive. So I think it can be a problem if
because he committed too much and left the gap open for the Ollie Watkins goal.
Yeah, and we have other center halves which aren't good enough, so it can be a problem. Yeah, we need this. Definitely, we need the screening in front of. So I think Skip and Højbjerg are going to play a lot together. Even though they have their deficiencies, we have to protect the center halves because they're. He can be a good player, but I have thought about the same, Eric. He's very aggressive. But
going back to.
No, I just want to finish off with saying they have raised the bar on the aggressiveness in the league.
Yep.
And
so you can get away with more, can't you?
Exactly. So that might be a good thing.
Just to go back to your point, Eric, he got 18 yellows in Serie A last year, which is one every roughly 2 games. So he's going to get, I don't know how many cards you need to get banned, Cam, but he may see him being banned.
I'm just worried that, just like the Ollie Watkins goal, I was worried about that all game because he was coming up the field and wanting to put a foot in, and I'm just worried he's leaving gaps in behind where it might be too big of a gap where Højbjerg can quickly recognize, he just left the gap, and then we go fill it back in. That's one thing I'm worried about, and but I feel like
you just love the way that Rudiger comes out with the ball for Chelsea and builds an attack,
and that's what I was about to say. Romero was in the back 3 last year. Rudiger is in the back 3 right now, and I feel like you can commit in a back 3 when you got 2 center backs covering you. And so,
and they played very attacking football. Atalanta, they played a high line, so it's a very different system now. So, it's a worry, but so is the team.
Yeah, the thing is, Cam, that Romero's playing like he's in the back 3, but he's actually in the back 2. So,
I think
again, the manager needs to coach him in that, doesn't he?
Well, he does. Or we need to really look at the formation with the players that we've got and everything else. I think that with the skills that Reguilón has got, which really do not lend themselves to defence. I think the way that Royal bombs up the field, I think that for Nuno to be a bit more successful than he has been, he really needs to consider a back three. If you had Tanganga in there with Dyer and Romero, I think we would start looking a bit more solid, and we'd maybe start creating a bit more. Our biggest problem, as we all know, with Nuno has been the transition from defence to attack. There doesn't seem to be anything there, that anyone who can take that ball forward and move it towards our forward players. And I think going to a back three may help do that. Whether he's got the nous to do it, I don't know.
I never
Okay,
understood.
guys. Sorry, Eric. Go ahead.
I never understood. Like, it felt like he was forced to play a back four when he came into Spurs because Nuno's success at Wolves was his back three, and towards last season, towards the end of the season, he started to change to a back four, but that didn't have success for Wolves either because Ryan Mason smoked that one. When they played against us when they were in that back four. But when Nuno first came in, I assumed to myself, I thought to myself, we're gonna be playing a back three when he comes in. But no, we said we're going to play with a back four. And I'm thinking if Nuno comes in with a back three, I was like, okay, that means we can finally get the best out of Sessegnon. We can finally get the best out of Doherty that we signed.
There's no best out of Doherty.
I know, but he had a success under Nuno's team in a back three as a right wing back and had permission to go forward up the field. And so I'm thinking, okay, we can finally put Doherty in his right wing back position finally. Sessegnon, where he has success at Fulham in that left wing back position finally. I think Tanganga's best position is not right back, not center back, but the right center back of a back three.
Yeah,
agreed.
I agree with that. Let's have a quick chat about what do we think let's assume we're going to go with the back three. Let's all agree what we think our best team is. So if we obviously Lloris in goal, we'll go with that. Who do you guys think is best on the right side of a back three? Cam?
Well, I think you said it. It's going to be Jeffa is the best placed position for that. Without a doubt.
Okay, do you agree, Eric?
Yeah, I agree.
Tanganga, right? What about you, Nico?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I agree as well. So Jaffa, a right back. What about in the centre of that back three then?
Romero.
What about you, Eric?
Romero, Dyer.
Nico?
All the time.
Dyer? Romero or Dyer? Which one do you think? I'll go with Romero. Who do you think, Eric?
Okay, Romero at center, but at left center?
No, just in the center.
Okay, Romero.
Yeah. What about you, Nico?
Yeah, absolutely. Move on. Yeah.
Let's start with you now, Nico. On the left side of that back three, who are you going to have?
I would go for Roden.
Roden, okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric?
Yeah, I'm going to be mad at my answer. And on one, I'm going to give you two options. One, because he's left-footed and can play center back.
I know who you're gonna say.
Okay. And then my second option will be Dyer because he always plays on the left side of a back four, and I feel like.
But who's your first option? Who's your first option there?
At left center back?
Yeah.
Maybe Ben Davies.
Yes. I thought you saw that coming. Because Mourinho did pay him in the back three there, and he has played there because he's left Wales. What about you, Cam?
I think that I hear what you're saying, Eric. My problem with that with Davis on the left side is, firstly, he's got no pace. He's got no ability, and that's fine if you're in the centre back if you haven't got pace. But then you've got to have a footballing brain like Chiellini or somebody like that who can understand positioning of the other players. I don't believe that his footballing brain makes up for his pace, so I wouldn't go for that. I would have to say that Dyer's stronger physically. And has a lot more to offer in that sense. So he'd probably be my first choice. Or I would definitely be, depending on who we're playing, put Sanchez in because he's got the pace to be able to, put in that last second tackle. What would worry me very much about Davis is he is a few seconds off the pace and he's going to give away fouls and he's going to and potentially penalties. So no, Davis.
One thing that's crucial about a back three being as a right center back and a left center back is that in a back three, there's going to be occasions where you're going to have to face the opposition wingers, and you're going to have some pace. And that's why I think about Davies over Dyer in that position.
Well, Terry's saying Tanganga, Romero, and Davies. So it could be either way. What about the two screening players? We're playing a back three, so we're going to play, five in the middle. So who's going to be your left wing back, Nico?
Of course, Reguilón.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you, Cam?
Well, I mean, I'll still stick with Reguilon, but I would go back to say that there is he's a true Tottenham in the sense that he came in with a great reputation, great potential, and we kicked it out of him within one season. So, I mean, I wish we had the Reguilon that we all wanted, but we haven't really. But at this stage, I'll have to go with him.
Eric?
I love Reguilon, but I'll have to say Sessegnon.
Yeah, I was going to say Sessegnon. If Sessegnon is fit.
I still think about that Hoffenheim season when he was the left wing back in that back three or back five and had so much success. And like I said, when Nuno came in, I thought we was going to be in that back five, and we was the implementation of Sessegnon in the field on the team. And so it'll be Sessegnon in that back three as the left wing back.
Yeah. Right wing back, Cam? Matt Doherty, I think, for you, isn't it, Cam? Cam's frozen now as well. Okay, let's go to you, Nico. Who's going to be your right wing back? And if you say Matt Doherty, I'm closing the stream right now.
Well, I think we just have to go all out on Royal.
Emerson Royal. Yeah, Emerson Royal's look pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric? I'm going to try and message
before
Cam.
the signing of Royal, because he can play as a right wing back. But before the signing of Royal, I would have said Doherty. But Royal is good as a wing back more than a full back in a back four. So yeah, Royal as well.
Yeah, I'm going with Royal. Cam's actually dropped out, so maybe he's got some problems with Wi-Fi. Okay, so who have we got then? So we've got those two. Who are we going to play the three in the middle then? Nico?
Yeah, I would go with. Okay, so we have three. Yeah, I will go with. Still, I would actually go with Skip and Højbjerg and Gil.
Skip and Højbjerg, okay. So you got Skip
Gil as a
Højbjerg.
10.
Who's the 10?
Gil.
Gil. Oh, Gil. Oh, so you got Skip and Højbjerg and Gil.
So, yeah.
I would agree with that. The only difference I would play, I would try Giovanni Lo Celso as a number 10 behind two there. Oh, Cam's back. Here we go. Eric, what do you think?
I want to play number 10 as well. I would probably play maybe, sometimes a 10. But I was, when you said midfield three, I was thinking one central defensive midfielder and two central midfielders. But we could try a 10 behind two defensive midfielders, and I would say, or the 3-4-3, Terry Wright. The midfield three would be Lo Celso, Højbjerg, and Skip. And if we were to go into a 3-4-3 where we have two, it would be Højbjerg and Skip.
Okay. What about you, Cam? I think we lost you before you say that. So what would be is it a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3 for you? We keep losing Cam again. He comes back and then he goes again. Well, Cam, you there?
I am. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know about you, Eric. I've got Spectrum here, and it's terrible. We've been having outages literally every hour, 2 hours. So, I mean, yeah. Well, the USA internet leaves a lot to be desired.
So, are you paying a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2, Cam?
I mean, they just keep ringing me with alerts that we're on outage.
Cam, are you paying a 3-5-2 or 3-4-3?
I'm paying a 3-5.
So we've got the left wing back is Reggie and the right wing back is Royal. Who's your three in the middle then?
Three in the middle would be Skip, would be obviously Højbjerg, and I think for me the creative player that I have to stick with at this stage would probably be Moura.
Oh, Lucas Moura, okay. Nico, did we ask you who you wanted in the middle? I can't remember, sorry.
Yeah, I said Skip, Højbjerg, and Brian Gil.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that. Sorry, I'll put that into potentially.
Yeah, Hayan, hello, Hayan. Thanks for your question. Lo Celso, I think that's a fair point, actually. I mean, he hasn't been given enough time in that number 10 position, has he, to prove what he can do? He's always played out on the left wing or whatever. Eric, do you think we should play him as a number 10 to see what happens?
I feel like he's just too little as a number 10. Like because I don't think he finds the space to me, Lo Celso. With Argentina, he has more success. It was almost like as a support winger. But as a number 10, I
wish it was Lo Celso.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'd be better than Dele Alli for sure. I mean, we'll have at least some creativity, But, I mean, I don't think Lo Celso had enough time in general, especially in his right position. So.
What is it? What position does he play for Argentina?
Almost as a right winger, I thought.
Oh, the right winger. Okay, yeah.
What I almost seeing, and he almost like is almost like a support right winger.
So Cam is saying Brian Hill would be the creative number 10 in front, and obviously there's Kane and Son up top. Is that correct, everybody? Kane and Son we're going for?
Yeah.
Kane and Son up top. And if we're in the 3-4-3, I would have Son as the left wing, Kane striker, and right wing would be either Lo Celso or Mora.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what team he's going to pick against Newcastle. I mean, do you think we guys? I mean, what are we going to do now? Are we actually going to go on a run now and have some good form? I mean, after Newcastle, we've got Man United, Nico. I don't know who else we've got, but
Yeah, we just have to build on the Villa victory, I think, and just try to be. I think we need both Skip and Højbjerg. We really need it because the central defenders is still a big question mark for me. So, and we have to have Kane wanting to play, of course. I'm still not sure about him. Does he want to be there? So, or is it just his August form? Doesn't seem like he wants to be there, but I'm just adamant he's played either way. So, yeah, we have to get the continuity, and I trust all my players. I trust all my players. So,
I mean, I saw his last interview, which was a pre-match. I don't know if it's pre or post-match. It's really a really bad interview, actually. Game. The guy asked him why somebody wasn't paying. He said, "Oh, we can't play every match," and blah blah blah. He seems really tensed up at the moment. I hope he's happy in what he's doing and all that, because a happy manager will hopefully do a good job.
Yeah, and I would say compared to Pochettino, he's not. Pochettino was so self-assured.
Yeah,
had a very good comment, knew exactly what he wanted. I don't see that in Nuno. He looks very more like, I get it. It's a bigger job and everything, but he looks a bit scared and like, I'm just gonna have to try to find a way here. And the club wants me to play 4 at the back, but I'm actually used to playing 3. So yeah.
But Nuno, I mean, Nico, shouldn't a manager be able to adapt to style of play? Let's be very honest about this. Not 4 at the back against every single team. You're going to be sussed out. A 3 at the back, you'll be sussed out. You've got to be able to be flexible. And a manager who's so rigid in his formation is not going to be a successful manager. I'm sorry, but you've got to be able to flex yourself depending on where your position is. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, totally agree. I mean, Eric, just said exactly the same thing when Tuchel, when he saw they were being overrun, and they took Mount off and brought Kante on, played a different way, and they overran us. So
did Nuno, but you only did it. So did Nuno, but you only did it when we were 3-0 down against Arsenal. Everyone could have seen it within the first 5 minutes of that game. But this is the difference, isn't it? Doing it at 3-0 down makes them blind. Who cares? By then the game's already over. So I missed out on the front two, but obviously Son and Kane, and you play Kane until he leaves. That's my view.
And when he leaves, who do you play up front with Son then?
When he leaves, who do you play up front? You probably play more up front and give Hill a run in the team constantly. I mean, the other problem that we've got with some of these players is we're not giving them a constant run in the team to actually be able to do it. The only players who seem to give a constant run in the team are Ndombele and Dele, and both of them, the more time you give them in the team, the worse they get. So if we're in the final few minutes, we need to talk about the problems with Dele. Who will take Dele? Yeah.
Everybody have a say on Dele Alli. Go on, Nico. You start. Have a say on Dele Alli.
What do you guys think about now? He dropped Ali. We looked better without him in the team.
Yeah, I agree.
Is it possible now? It's going to be very hard for him to get back. I think actually, it's going. Yeah, I think we look.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to get back in, especially if results pick up. What do you think, Eric? What's the future for Dele Alli?
Not here, somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, Cam put it nicely. He said he should go and play for a championship team. Like, who did you say, Cam? Like Sheffield United or somebody?
Sunderland or Peterborough. I think he's at that level now. Well, he did come from MK Dons, so maybe that's where we need to send him back to. I don't think he's a championship player.
But Cam, you said we make players worse. He actually became better with Tottenham, so that's ruined your argument.
No, because then we made him worse. As soon as we saw the improvement, we did what he could to make him. We didn't just make him worse. We made him into an absolutely the worst of the worst of the worst. That's what we have a habit of
has
doing.
himself only to blame.
Yeah, I think Terry's just agreeing with us. He's absolutely useless. Totally agree. Terry, should he be dropped or sold in January? I think he should be sold. Get whatever you can for him now and just get rid of him.
Nobody's coming in for Delhi. Nobody's coming in for Ndombele.
He was once rated 40 million to 60 million, linked to Madrid and Barcelona, and now he's
Newcastle. Tell him to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Their first signing, marquee signing.
I don't even think he'll be an MLS player, to be honest with you. He might do well in the MLS.
Can't he go to the Vancouver Whitecaps or something like that, or the New York Red Bulls or something?
He could go to Orlando City, my local team.
Or what about the Inter
Miami?
Inter Miami, yeah.
I mean, if Delhi comes to Orlando City, I might renew my season ticket. I was a season ticket holder there for the first few years. I agree.
Terry, get him out of the club on January. Get his wages off the wage bill, and let's try and do it. But guys, who do you think we should be, who are we getting rid of in January? Come on, let's go around the group again before we close this off. Nico, who are we getting up? Then we come to you, Eric. But Nico, who are we getting rid of in January?
Kane.
Kane is the one, but are you getting rid of anybody else?
I think it's the realistic thing is to sell Kane.
Everybody.
And I don't think we're going to get any offers for the other players that aren't especially good. So I would say Kane.
But what about Dinks?
I agree with Eric. We need to sell him to move on as a club.
Yeah, I agree with that. No, I agree with that. Yeah. Eric, who else are you getting rid of other than Kane in January?
Well, I think it's already confirmed. Winks is being looked at by these lower teams, or probably on the same level as us now. But these lower teams that we all think about. But one thing about Kane is that is he even going to have a? Don't even say Newcastle. Is he going to have a buyer in January? Like we heard reports after the summer transfer window closed that Man City were not going to go back for him in January. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think if they would or not. But would Kane even have a buyer in January? Is selling Kane for like 150 million even a January type signing? Because usually the big money deals happen in the summer. So I don't know about that one. I mean, I hope to see him gone.
Are you getting rid of Dyer, Winks, Sanchez, these guys in January as well, Eric?
No, not on the back line. Not on the back line. If you're going to change the back line, you need a preseason with it. So a change to a back line will have to be in the summer.
I agree. I think the only other
Cam? Who are you getting rid of, Cam?
Obviously, if we could get rid of Ndombele and we could get rid of Delhi, that would be a plus. If we could get rid of, and we've got too many of those players for this one position. I agree that Kane will not attract the same money that you potentially could have attracted in the summer. So we might be stuck with him till the end of the season. There's a lot of players we need to get rid of. The only question we have to ask is who wants to take them. I mean, look at the Aurier situation. He had to end his own contract for nothing before we could offload him off our books.
So what, did he agree to tear up the contract then? So we didn't have to pay him. Is that right, Cam?
Correct, yeah. He finally got himself a new contract and he'll probably go and win something now in Spain. But the question is who will pay? I mean, if you're a Ndombele and you've got 3 more years on your contract at 250,000 a week, what incentive have you got to leave? Because no one's going to ever pay you that.
If you want to get back into the French national team and stuff like that, then you have to have lots of incentive.
Okay, so you're going to, let's put it this way, right? You've said it. You're talking about let me make another 36 million pounds or get back into the French team and potentially make nothing. What would you do, Ray? I'll take the 36 million. Hell with the club, hell with the fans. And then you sign me, give me the money.
And what do you think about Terry's point that City may be desperate? I mean, you saw the match against PSG. Everybody saw that match. They definitely need a number 9 to put those chances away. Do you think they may come back in?
I think they've got a list of a lot of players, and I think they will come back in for Kane, but nowhere near that level of money. And they've got a lot of list of players, but I'd be surprised. I would think that the Newcastle situation will probably prompt them to want to pick up Kane before Newcastle come in with the big bucks. You also got to talk about Everton. Everton have got a few big bucks. They're a good team. They're a better team, and they've also potentially edged us out of the top 10 or the top 6, top 7. And I don't think we're as good as Everton. I think we're a lot worse than Everton, and they're getting stronger and we're getting weaker.
Who do you think is going to? I mean, we all can agree that Norwich are probably going to go down. But who else do you think is going to go down with Norwich? Eric, who's your two with Norwich to get relegated this season? From what you've seen so far.
Shoot, definitely Norwich. Brentford. The first 3 teams I look at to go down are obviously the promoted teams, but no, Brentford is obviously going to stay up. Watford was very stupid in sacking their manager so early. I mean, he's the guy that brought you up, and the reasoning for the sacking was ridiculous. Talking about a negative trend in result, I've never heard of that as a reason to sack a manager.
No, we'd never have a manager.
Yeah, exactly. A negative trend. So I don't know how that triggers a manager to go. But no, it's really tough. I mean, Newcastle's in 19th right now, but that's
Newcastle ain't going down now, man. They're just going to buy their way out.
They just bought their way out of.
Why don't you ever think about that, Eric? I'll go to Nico. Who do you think is going to go down with Norwich? Is it too early to say?
Yeah,
it really is too early to say.
I think it is too early, actually. Yeah, I think that was an unfair question. Unless Cam, have you got any idea? Do you think it's going to go down?
I think Watford is really good.
Norwich.
I mean, I'm a bit worried about Leeds because I think that the thing that gets me is the honeymoon period. You always have a team that will do really well in their first season and then they completely get destroyed. So you had like I keep saying, Sheffield United is a good example. There's so many others that are good examples that do great in the first season and immediately relegated, never to be seen again. So next season, probably Brentford will go down. They'll do really well this season. And I think Wolves are another one that could go down, to be honest with you. I mean, they're not playing very well at all. Watford, Wolves, another Watford, Wolves and Warwick. There you go. Yeah.
I know you couldn't pronounce your R's, but that's a bit too much, Warwick. But final thoughts on that beloved Tottenham Hotspur, Eric. I'm going to close it off now. Give us your final thoughts on, and also give us a prediction for the match against Newcastle.
Newcastle 2-2
next week. 2-2 Newcastle. Yeah. Who's scoring for Tottenham?
Son.
And you're not allowed to say Son and Kane.
Well, shoot. Then we're gonna lose 2-0. Then we're gonna lose 2-0 to Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm only joking.
But no, Son twice.
Yeah.
Kane's
okay, Nico.
Score.
Yeah,
prediction for Newcastle Tottenham?
2-1 loss. I think we're gonna lose 2-1. Yeah.
Cam, the man.
I think we're going to beat them 2-0 because I think that the game's coming too early in the takeover for it to have any impact whatsoever on that team. Maybe 2-1, but I think that this is a good chance for Spurs to build on. I know Bruce is going to want to prove something, but he knows his goose is cooked. Whether they're going to get rid of him this week or after the Tottenham game, I don't know. But I think if we're ever going to beat them, it's got to be in this game.
I think it's going to be 1-1. I think we'll score first, but they'll equalise and then we'll hang on for a 1-1 draw, I think. I think Terry agrees. See, Terry's on the same wavelength as me. Me and Terry agree on a lot of things, Terry. Thanks for that, mate. We're on the same wavelength.
I saw a tweet that the match is going to be sold out too.
So. Yeah,
it will be now. It will be. Yeah.
I get tickets for it. I don't know. It's almost like they've signed Ronaldo. I mean, what do they think? Are the Saudis going to come out and play for them?
Well, let's put these things into context. If they want to spend 300 million, it's like chump change. It's like me and you spending a couple of quid on a coffee or something. It's 300 million for them.
Actually, it's chump change. Yeah.
But just one last thing. We need, the most important thing is direction. We need something to believe in, some kind of project or direction, because now we don't know anything.
So you mean direction right from the top, Nico, or from the manager?
And from the manager, so the players have some vision, something to to want to grasp. I think now it affects them also. It's up in the air. It doesn't. I don't see the conviction. That's my point. So we need some clarity on where is the club going, and the manager has to believe it and has to transform to the players. Yeah,
I agreed. Well, listen, everybody, thank you. Thanks for your time, Eric, Nico, and Cam. We hope to do this on a regular basis, chat to everybody. If you're just watching a replay, thank you for watching the replay. Please make sure you leave all your comments. Tell us what you want us to discuss. Next week, I'm going to be playing out some funny Tottenham quotes from some players and getting you guys to try and guess who the players are. So we'll have a bit of fun next week. And say thank you very much, everybody. Have a great week. And we'll see you on the next stream next week, next Friday. Thanks, guys. Take care and bye-bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.